last window tinting video I did, you told me all the mistakes that I made. I'm glad you all felt so free to tell me where I went wrong and give me suggestions and comments on how I could do it better. But you know what, I actually am very grateful, and I think it's going to make it easier for me and you for next time you take on the challenge of DIY window tinting. So this time, let's call it 2.0, window tinting DIY perfectly. If this is your first time here, g'day, I'm Kent. I'm always doing these maintenance jobs around the house, sometimes successfully, but I do it so that you can learn from my mistakes and hopefully get the confidence to then take on jobs yourself and get things fixed at your place. Seth Other asked, what's the ratio of soap to water? Now I use Johnson's baby shampoo and it's about 20 ml, which is a generous tablespoon to 1 litre of water. That seems to give you a good mix where it's a little bit slippery. Don't use anything with grease cutting properties because that damages the adhesive. A really important part of getting these window tints installed properly is to start with really clean windows. So spray some of this baby shampoo on. I love the smell of this stuff. It reminds me of a snorkeling mask. You know how you put a little bit inside the mask to stop it fogging up? Every time I smell it, that's what I'm reminded of. I love it. Anyway, make sure you've got a nice clean, sharp scraper. That combined with the baby shampoo does such a good job at cleaning these windows. We've spent a bunch of time now just cleaning the glass, but that's the prep work that you need to have the glass spotless. If there's any grit or paint splatters or fly poop or anything left on the windows, once that window film goes on, it's stuck there, it's done. So put the effort in, get your glass really clean, it'll look a lot better. They look clean enough to me. I've only got Windex here. I'm not going to use Windex before I apply window tint. It's got ammonia in it. I'm going to use the dining table as a workbench for this. Tape one end down flat and you can roll the other end out. And I'm just pre-cutting a few little bits of painter's tape and I'll use them to mark my measurements. Once I've got a few measurements across the window film, I'll just lay down a straight edge and with a marker, mark down a straight line that I can carefully cut along. If you're starting with a factory edge, that's a bonus because they're always nice and straight. So we'll put that nice straight edge at the top of the window. This is a great tip. Use 2 pieces of tape and then you can separate the film easily, but not yet. Now, just so you can install these windows like a professional, I've added in an instruction manual and all the tools that I've used in this video down below in the description. It was Marie Hopper that suggested hanging up the film the wrong way around on a nearby window and then removing the backing while it's hanging up there. So let's try that. We need to spray the window so the film has something to stick to. Put the tint against the window and then we can peel the backing off. So we're putting it on back to front just now, sticking it temporarily to this window so we can peel the backing off, spray it, and then fit it there. Spray your fingers as well so you don't accidentally leave fingerprints on the film. Thank you, Marie, for this tip. I think especially if you're doing this by yourself, that is fantastic. We'll get some spray on the back of this film. This is the adhesive side of the tint, and also on this window. This is where we're going to put the film. Lots of that spray, it's all good stuff, and it makes it a bit more forgiving. So when you put the film on the window, we can sort of reposition it. And oh, that's the masking tape at the top of the window. So that was our factory edge. Do you know what? I've accidentally measured this window, which is larger, I think, than this one. Either that or I got my measurements wrong. Right. But it fits perfectly. A bit more spray helps the squeegee glide over the surface, because now we need to squeegee out the moisture, the bubbles, whatever's between the glass and the film. The best way I've found is to start with a capital T and kind of work your way from the inside out. That extra spray we've put on just helps the squeegee glide across the surface, not putting on any scratches. There's a little bit of fluff under there. I wonder if we can lift that up and get it out. Success. Okay, there you go. If you need to get a little bit of fluff or dirt out from underneath the film, spray some of that baby shampoo mix on it and then just pick it off. It's quite forgiving. This little squeegee I'm using, it's quite a lot firmer than the ones you normally use for squeegeeing off glass. I think it's a Pillar product, but you can get it from wherever you buy your tint from, or you can get it online. This is my daughter's room. She loves how bright it is without the old window tints on. But without window film, we're coming into summer down here in Aussie, and this east-facing bedroom is going to get pretty hot. So we'll put this film on that lets the light in, but it blocks out the heat and blocks out the UV rays that fade carpets and stuff. And it gains her a little privacy too. Coral Nathan asked if she could remove the tint later on. This adhesive style tint is always going to be hard to remove. I think that if you have any plans to remove it later, say if you're a renting tenant or you only want temporary window films, then a really good option is static cling window films. They're about the same price. They're similar to install, but super easy to remove when you need to. There's a link in the video description of where you can buy them from. If you can at all avoid it, it's hard, but try your best. Don't squeegee right up to the edge of the glass. As Serene explains, the window film seems to pick up the fluff from the window gaskets, no matter how well you clean them. Trim the tint using a technique like this. Tuck a credit card into the corner, lie a new sharp blade along it, and as you run the credit card along, it tucks the film into the corner of the window and the blade trims off the excess. Make sure you're using a nice sharp blade. A really helpful comment from Sharon S was, use a stainless steel blade to trim your film because the stainless steel blades are softer and less likely to score the glass. But I went around 4 local stores and I couldn't find any, but I did find stainless steel blades online and they're reasonably priced too. The normal carbon blades are too hard. If you score the glass, you void the warranty on new windows. Clean the glass just like you normally would, but avoid an ammonia-based window spray. Xavier wanted to see it from the outside. Now you can enjoy a little more privacy, maybe a cooler room this summer, and the satisfaction you get for doing an amazing job of installing your window tints DIY. If you've noticed that your window tints are a little hazy or there's lots of bubbles everywhere, click on the video just here and I'll show you how to deal with it. I'll see you there.